This is here. Okay. This is my bracket. I got Duke beating Siena.
Bracket's horrible.
Obviously. I have Ohio State beating TCU because they finished it. St. John's beating Northern Iowa. Kansas beating Cal Baptist. I was tempted to pick Cal Baptist, but if you go over here, they're a 98 over 21. Okay, I have South Florida winning this due to the fact that Louisville had a rough ending at the end, and yeah. I had Michigan State winning for obvious reasons. Michigan State beating South Florida, UConn beating UCLA. Yeah. Then I had Duke beating Ohio State, St. John's beating Kansas due to the fact that their best player keeps on benching himself. Jeez. Then I had Duke beating St. John's. I had UConn beating Michigan State because I feel like UConn's just going to have their guys ready. And then Duke beating UConn. Next part, I have Florida winning this game due to the fact it's 1-16. Clemson beating Iowa because it's really just a coin flip. Don't get confused. Okay, Florida beating Clemson for obvious reasons. Vanderbilt beating McNeese. Nebraska beating Troy. I had Vanderbilt winning this game. I was tempted to pick them against beating Florida because they won by 17. Okay. And I had VCU beating North Carolina. Illinois beating Penn State. I had this upset because North Carolina's one of their players are injured. I had Texas A&M winning this game because it's not big on St. Mary's. Houston beating Idaho because I don't think there's going to be a really big upset here this year, guys. Okay, Houston beating Texas A&M, Illinois beating VCU, and then Houston beating Illinois, Houston beating Florida to make the Final Four. Okay, if we go over here, it's Arizona, okay? I had Arizona winning this because it's 1v16. Utah State being Villanova. They just had a stronger end to the year. Wisconsin beating High Point and Arkansas. Arkansas beating Wisconsin. And yeah. And then I had Arizona beating Arkansas. And then I had BYU beating Texas or NC State. And then I had Gonzaga beating Kennesaw State. Missouri because I just like them better. And Purdue over Queens because 15-2 seed, you know? Then I had Purdue beating Missouri. Purdue beating Gonzaga. And I think it could go either way with this game compared to the fact that Purdue's very inconsistent. Okay. Let's go down to this region right here. Oh, did not mean to do that. Oh my gosh. Resetting it. Okay, I had Michigan beating the 16 seed, St. Louis beating Georgia because I just look at that little guy. You can't trust him. Then I had Akron beating Texas Tech because these 13 and 12 seeds, they usually win 35% of the time. Okay. Alabama beating Hofstra because Bama's just a strong team. I would maybe take Akron here. You know what? Yeah. Because 50% of the time, more than an 11 seed would make the what's it called? The Sweet 16. Okay, and then I had Tennessee beating Miami of Ohio, or SMU. I'm actually happy Miami of Ohio ended up here because they were undefeated. Virginia beating Wright State because Virginia won their conference thing. And then Kentucky beating Santa Clara and Iowa State beating Kentucky. Iowa State going to the Elite Eight against Michigan, and I have Virginia winning this game because, yet again, they won their conference. Then I had Michigan beating them. Okay, in our Final Four, I had Houston beating Duke because Duke's point guard got injured. And then I have Purdue. And then I have Michigan beating Purdue because Purdue's just inconsistent. Okay, I have Houston beating Michigan. Okay. And I just think Michigan will win it all because, they have 2 7-foot guys and stuff. And yeah. See you guys.